Hello, hey, this is Matt. Can anybody hear me? Hello, hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, hey, it's Matt.
Hi.
Who do I got
How are
there?
you?
Good. Who's that?
Mary Beth.
Hey, Mary Beth. Sweet. I'm doing well. I finally got some lunch, got the slides finished up, feeling like a champion. How about you?
You know, I just got done doing the same thing. Just got back from lunch, so I'm doing pretty good.
Sweet. I've been back to back to back to back today, and just, deep sigh of relief, you know? It's that hard week where I feel like I've done three days worth of work in one day, and really
I
excited.
understand. With Anthony being out, it's just kind of been pretty crazy around here as well.
Oh my goodness gracious, I bet. Because it was funny, I sent that email and then I didn't realize that usually we send out a calendar invite in advance. just to schedule things off and discuss it and all those type of things. And with the excitement of the Ensemble release, Employee Framework 5.0, some of that stuff just got dropped in the process. So when I emailed him, he was like, I'm out of town, but Mary Beth can do it. I was like, oh my gosh, so she's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of a, here, but I'm glad to be here, and I'm excited to get to talk about our intranet. So
it's so much fun. It was funny. I was talking to Dallas. He was helping with the slides a little bit ago, and he went through and he's like, man, these are awesome screens. So I think we're going to have fun today.
Cool.
I think we're just waiting on the other team to jump in.
Okay.
I'm going to shut down Outlook. Uh-oh. Invite people. She didn't get the login information. Okay, sent that to her. So hopefully she can join in. So Brittany, her presenter. Oh, we're just a few minutes away. Cool. Okay, she should be getting in any second. Oh my goodness gracious, I love cutting it close. Any good plans for the weekend?
It may just be one of those weekends where we just kind of relax and enjoy the time, and there are no big plans on our schedule, and I'm okay with that. How about you?
I tell you, I'm headed to California for a conference.
Well, that sounds exciting.
It is, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. My parents are out that way, so I get to swing by and see them, and then we'll have some fun. So, goodness, it's going to get in here. Woo! Cutting it close. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the webinar. So it'll switch over, and then it'll just be you and I, and then I'll ask questions as we go.
Okay.
But we will just put yourself on mute. We'll probably have you go first. Just be prepared as we get there, and then show off as much or as little as you want. Talk as long as you want. But
okay.
I think our conversation earlier was 15 or 20 or even 25 minutes, just kind of talking generally. So I think you could do that no problem.
Okay.
A lot of fun. I'll do the same thing after you. I'll have the same questions. So I'm going to get started, and let me make sure she gets in here. Okay. Got her. There she is. There she is. Okay. I'm going to start it. Here we go. Shut this down.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. Hey, this is Matt at Passageways. Welcome. I know we're just a few minutes from behind getting started. We had some connection issues with the information here, so I've got a couple of great customers lined up to talk about their employee intranets and really how it impacts your bank. That's the big thing today. So we're going to have some fun as we get rolling here. All right, I'll pick up the handset, that'd be better. Excellent. So again, thank you for joining Passageways. We have been working with banks for a little over 12 years to be able to share their content and information as we get rolling today. So we're going to have lots of information to be able to get the information to you, slides and best practices after the presentation. And we'll make sure, and yes, we're definitely, I see the few questions coming in the panel here, so make sure that you get those in. I'll try and field those best we can as we're getting through today. But what we really want to talk about is the culture and how do you really be able to make it such that the portal is really a home for your bank. So that's the really ability is to make it so that it's more than policies, procedures, and as many banks have called it, it's the ability to do more than what's quote-unquote collaboration has always been email and policies and documents and shared drives. Okay, so it's really how do we take the next step to be able to make sure we're on the same page. So before we get too far, some of you know Passageways, some don't. Again, we spent 12 years, started with Purdue Federal as our first client, and have since grown to hundreds of other financial institutions, banks ranging from 20 employees to hundreds, and some very large ones as well. So all the best practices you need to be able to make sure that you have all the tools necessary to make your bank more efficient and make sure you're all on the same page. And what we do here at Passageways is really focus on 4 key things. One is culture, growth, efficiency, and service. And let me expound upon these a little bit. So as more than just a simple intranet, and because of the lifeline, the beats, the heartbeat as it were, of your organization and the ability to share what's important, your team's culture, whether it's focusing on customer service or loan growth, or how do we get everybody on the same page, cross-functional activities. We'll hear some of those best practices today. And in the process, how do we make everybody more efficient, finding policy procedures, documents, department information, sales tips, FAQs, and things of that nature, which ultimately impact our growth and customer service in the process. So those are some of the 4 big buckets that we focus on at Passageways when working with banks to really make sure that we're solving the needs that you all have today. So I've got some great speakers joining me today. We've got Mary Beth from Fidelity Bank. She's done an amazing job working with her portals, as well as Brittany and Casey from Legends Bank, some of our newer customers in the past few years. So give you perspective of banks that have really evolved their portals, not only from where they started to now, just a real vibrant organization and experience, the change that they all had here, and go from there. And just a real quick test. I want to make sure, Carissa, if you're on the call, can you just ping in, give me an EIN, let me know if you can hear me. It appears some of the individuals in the line are having issues reaching out to me. So if any Passageways staff who are on the call, if you could just do a double check here, I want to make sure my voice is coming through all right. And perhaps, oh, good, excellent. And if you could ping in with Kimberly Edwards and see if I do the dial so you guys could log in and help her with audio, since we're having some issues with her. So, but we'll keep rolling, and I'll pass on this recording to her if we need, but we're just for the interest of time, we'll keep going. So what I want to do is let's talk about some of these basic components. Let's start with Fidelity Bank. I pulled a couple of information as to, bank's been around for 59 years, a little over 400 employees, and have seen significant growth on assets and equity and things of that nature, and a little over 1.6 billion in assets. Pretty amazing. So Mary Beth, I want to welcome you to the discussion today. Give us a little bit of background as to the bank, who you are, where you represent, where you're located, things of that nature, if you could.
Yeah, we are. Well, our headquarters is based out of Wichita, Kansas. Again, we are ever growing. We're actually in the process of, well, we're a family-owned bank, and this year we welcomed the 4th generation family member into the president position here, and we've gone through a lot of change, and we're continuing to grow and implement a new strategic plan, and we're just really excited about all of that. And a lot of that is even evolving what we're doing on the intranet. So
it's awesome. And some of the points you and I were preparing for today's call, and I tell you, I kid you not, I've got 2 pages of notes and things that I just some great sound bites. So let's get to your portal, because I know you guys are very passionate about that, and then we might even talk about Powell a little bit here in a bit. But walk us through, what are we looking at, and what is this to your staff here?
Sure. This is the main section of our homepage, and I guess we've had this almost a year, I think, but we went through a big process of trying to figure out, what can we do on our homepage that's really going to grab the attention of our employees, keep them coming back, and keep them engaged. And so what we've done here is broken down this top section into 2 areas, and the one on the left we call the marketing spotlight, and what you're seeing here, Bravely Onward commercials. And here we include links to our latest marketing spotlights, our commercials, and it keeps our employees up to date with what we're putting out and what we're advertising to our customers. On the right, we've got this scrolling banner that we actually custom built ourselves and have imported this into the portal. But basically, I mean, when we started this, we maybe had 1, 2 items that were scrolling back and forth, but as time has passed, it's become a high commodity. I mean, each slide is linked to particular pages within our portal, and as you see here, the Key Talent, that's a program that they just opened up for enrollment, but it can be anything. It can be updates that we've just recently made to a certain department page. It can be events from HR that they want people to go view, but putting it here in the forefront for employees to see and catch their attention, make sure that employees have access to everything and they're not missing anything. So again, below that we've got quick links and then just important phone numbers. It's just using the space wisely and utilizing the tools to be able to put it right in the forefront for employees to have access to. So.
Okay, excellent. And even a higher level. So I know you guys, and I love this because you guys have had so much thought even as to what goes on the landing page, and it's evolved so much over the years. Give us an idea of what the intranet means to the organization. Do people log into it regularly, or is this something that, it's just a handful of people get in there and use?
No, I mean, we've taken great pride in trying to change the thought process from using, direct email. We want the portal inside Fidelity to be the one-stop shop for everything you need to know about Fidelity Bank. And people log in. I mean, we set it up to basically when you open up Internet browser, it automatically comes up for them. It's right there, readily available, and people are coming to it every day. It's a part of their daily routine. So.
Man, that's awesome. So getting to some of the pages and content that you guys have really personalized to make this your own, as you're rolling. What are some of those pages that are things that you never thought you'd do in the intranet that it ended up facilitating collaboration and making everybody efficient? I believe you did employee portraits. How is that even important in an intranet?
Yeah, man, this was such a big project for our department because, back before this happened, our employee portraits or our headshots just weren't, what we wanted to be on the intranet. And so we wanted to be able to retake every single employee's photo. And you can imagine with over 400 employees, that's a huge task to undertake. And so, we sat down, how can we do this efficiently? What tools can we use to get people to be able to sign up and get people in and out and making it, as efficient as possible? And so we decided to create this mini site within the intranet for employee portraits. We laid out all the information they needed to know, what to expect, what to wear, and the calendar has a tool that allows you to have users sign up, and so that's how we did it, and it was so easy. We just basically set up the sessions within the calendar, and employees all came here, signed up, and we were able to keep accurate records of who was coming at what time and make sure that we got every single employee in and out, and we're able to update those photos. So it was awesome.
That's awesome. And really, the big thing I heard was, hundreds of employees. How do we get them all in the same place to do something like this? And that was just, I thought about that more and more, even with our 40 staff. It's almost a nightmare to try and get 40 people in the same spot, let alone another 0 to that.
Exactly.
Quite a big project on that front. So from a sense of thinking about the project, and it looks like, yes, we're getting a lot of end users, but what about senior management? Is this something that, from the president down, or is this, what all is involved?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's from, our CEO all the way down to, regular employees that are using this. It's a part of all of us. And I think what's really awesome is that on our homepage, we have an announcement section that, any employee any department can post something, but our CEO and president are in there taking the time to write out messages from them, personalized, saying this is where we are, this is what we want to do, and this is a message from me to you. And so we've had buy-in, from, the highest. And so I think it's instilled a culture of this is, the place to go and find out what's going on.
Oh, and we're going to see some examples too. Obviously with new management coming in and leadership, fourth generation even, it still is new dynamic, right? So being able to have an announcement section to share that, what's changing, the pulse, and be able to share that across the board, because we don't have enough minutes, right, in the day to connect with 400 other employees. So it's pretty neat to see. I love this best practice. And tell me about the signature at the bottom. Is this an image? Is this something, you guys are trying to personalize it even more?
Yes. Basically, really all the materials we have that come out from our president and CEO, we've had them sign, and we've turned these into images that we're able to place within the portal, but it just gives that extra, besides just typing out their name, it just gives that extra touch saying this is personally from him.
That's awesome. Cool. And I think this is another one here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Another announcement. I thought this was quite colorful and engaging here.
Yeah, in all of our announcements we try to make it interesting, and sometimes we include images, but I thought this was just a fun one from him. It's not always necessarily business. There are times where it's just, here's the holiday from me to you, I hope you enjoy it. And this image here is actually an ad that we ran in the past. So just kind of inserting that into a little bit of our branding into a message from him. So
that's cool. So getting a big part of what your culture has been, it's been idea sharing, and thus an idea share section. So from the family that owns the bank down to the end users, what's that like? How do you get ideas and information? How important is that?
Yeah, you know, I was talking with you, when you speak to the family or when they talk about the success that they've had, it's they'll tell you that you know, they really always, the big key is communication and staying in line with each other and being able to come up with new ideas. And I think that's what kind of spurred this section of our intranet, and you know, bringing that thought process into our culture. And this page that we're looking at here is actually just being revamped with the new president, and it's called My Fidelity Idea. And basically, this section, employees are able to come and submit an idea, and each month all of these are taken, and a committee collaborates together and talks about how these can be implemented. And at the end of the month, all of the ideas are put together, and responses are made on whether or not we can implement it, how and when, and they're released out onto the internet so employees can come and see how their ideas are shaping our company. And I think that's so powerful, being knowing that you know, our company is willing to listen to what we have to say. You know, we're the ones out there doing the daily operations, and we can see how things can change and improve, and they're listening and making changes based on the suggestions that we're making. And being able to facilitate that all through the intranet is, you know, awesome as well. So.
Well, and really just it's amplifying your culture just across everyone. That was the key for me, is, you know, rather than an email or an announcement or once a quarter we have a phone call with everyone, right? It's this beautiful way to be able to share what's going on and get buy-in. That's huge as a collective. So with new management coming in, right, new vision and resources, talk to me about dashboards and information. You know, where does this play into as we are as a bank there?
Yeah, you know, I thought this was such a cool project to put together because, you know, our new president came directly to us and said, you know, this is my plan for the future of the company, and I want to be able to put this out on the intranet for all our employees to be able to see the progress we're making. And so it gave us a great opportunity to be able to use the dashboard modules and take each one of the parts, each part of the new strategic plan that has a number and a percentage that goes with it, be able to put it here on the internet, give it access to all of our employees so they can see it and stay up to date. And I think, you know, that's going to inspire us all to continue to work together to accomplish these goals. So
that's huge. I love that. It's with all the changes to dashboards and information. That's what I love about you know, some of these events. And thank you for your insight. I think this has been very helpful. And if you don't mind, after the call, even if we share your information, perhaps with individuals who may have more questions, would that be okay?
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, awesome. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Mary Beth. What I want to do is now transition over to Legends Bank. And Brittany and Casey there to give you an idea of their bank. Very different. We've got about 85 employees. Everybody wears multiple hats and information on that. So, well, good morning and good afternoon to Brittany and Casey. How are you both doing today? You should be unmuted there. You might have to unmute yourself in the process. Can you hear us, Brittany? Let's see. It may take a second to be able to transfer over. If you could, call in using the information in the email I sent. If you don't put in that PIN, I can't unmute you, I think is the issue we're doing. So if you could, just call right back in. And what I want to do in the meantime is just go back to Mary Beth real quick about Powell, which is our annual user conference. Have you been to that in the past?
I have. I went last year, or yeah.
Excellent, excellent. You mind sharing just an idea of what it was like? Because this year especially was quite engaging.
Oh man, it's so awesome being able to. I mean, we're kind of engulfed in our intranet here, but being able to go and just see what other people are doing and come back with new ideas and things that you can implement in your own portal is awesome. I mean, not only that, but the excitement around the new release of Ensemble kind of got us excited. So
it's pretty neat, and maybe I don't want to take the words out of your mouth, but this year's Powell, every session was led by customers. Is that right? Did you get anything out of the breakouts or take home some notes from there?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing was trying to gather my thoughts here. Trying the you know, I really enjoyed being able to, I forget his name, but the guy from the airlines.
Yes, Carlos Gavin, American Airlines.
Carlos, yes.
Yes.
You know, I think they do such a great job with, you know, creating a fun environment on their intranet and being able to, you know, engulf their culture within that. And he's such a fun character to be able to watch and interact with. So, yeah, I mean, I took away a lot. And the session, the main speaker of the event, talking about technology and incorporating that into our banks and just being able to break through and evolve and really bring in new and not be afraid to take the risk and try something new. So
that's huge. Well, thank you again, and let's switch back and see if Brittany, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Perfect.
Awesome.
That worked out well. I love it when a plan comes together. So if you don't mind, could you give us a little bit of background as to your bank, where you guys are located, and some of your visions there in the community?
Sure. We are a community bank. We are based out of Clarksville, Tennessee, which is right in the middle of the Fort Campbell Army Base and Nashville, Tennessee. Our market includes Clarksville, a smaller community outside of us, which is Dover, and now we're in the Nashville and Brentwood Franklin market. So we have grown pretty fast in the last 16, 17 years. We have 8 branches and added a loan production office just last year. Our intranet was introduced to our employees on St. Patrick's Day of this year, so we are relatively new portalers.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so
That's
this
awesome.
is a new concept for not only us that were part of the creation of it, but also a lot of our employees who had never really worked with a true interactive intranet.
Yeah, it's amazing. And give us an idea. So I know Fidelity's been with us for a while, and I want to get the unique perspective of your team. So what were you doing before? Was it email and shared drive, or an archaic, you know, intranet thing?
Yes. A lot of emails. Our intranet was between a shared drive, a glorified shared drive, but our employees were going multiple places to access information and weren't always getting the most updated forms, policies, and things like that. And our IT department was really kind of running that. So if you needed a form updated or anything like that and put on the internet, you had to go through our IT department in order to have that done.
Wow, every little change, that sounds pretty cumbersome in the process. And really just being able to get to know staff. So in the process, and that gets us to kind of our next slide here. Talk to me about the Vault. What is this thing, and what are we taking a look at here?
Our Vault, we decided to do a custom landing page with our marketing agency. We really wanted to bring our brand and our message to our employees and really do that from the very beginning on the home page when they logged in. Now, we did set ours up so that that is the first thing that does pop up to them whenever they do log into the network for the day. In order to get to their time clock and those kinds of things, they do have to go through the Vault to do that. Now, when we launched ours, we did a naming contest, so our employees were engaged before they ever saw the new intranet. So we just had a contest where they got to come up with a name, and then they all voted on that. So it was a good way for us to get employees already excited about it before it officially launched.
Oh, that sounds awesome. And in the process, you know, just making sure that everybody's on the same page. So talk to me about the content itself, and I think that'll pull up the next slide here, which is some of your links and things of that nature. Is this stagnant information? Who all manages this, or is it still a programmer in a dark corner of the basement somewhere making changes?
No, as you can see, there's a lot of images there, so that probably comes from a little bit of the marketing side, trying to come out with our page design. But we did want to keep things relatively simple and not have a lot of content on each of the pages. But when we first initiated how are we going to develop this thing, because it was really a blank canvas for us, we did lean on Carissa, which I understand that she's on this as well, but she was a huge help to us in the beginning from Passageways, just to sort of help us wrap our mind around what it was that we were going to do with it. So we just tried to keep it simple at first, to create department directories, a branch directory, get the resources out there to them that we thought employees would really want to be able to go out there and find, which was our financials, the fun things like employee birthdays and anniversaries, but then just to give them updated news and information about things that were going on with the bank, and then individual departments to be able to cater their work groups and their pages to the functionality of their department. So this is our employee corner. That's where we have our organizational calendar. There are different things that they're going to be able to see on this page outside of just the birthdays and the anniversaries. We do have, we do welcome new employees that have come in so people can see who all has started working at the bank. They can sign up for different events or training or anything like that through our calendar. And then we have some extra pieces to that if we have any kind of events, or we do have an employee cookbook, so we do share recipes and things like that that employees may be interested in. Yeah,
that's huge, and it sounds like I just needed to put myself off mute. I did that transition. It was a little bit of a gap. Sorry about that. But just yeah, you flowed right into it. I thought it was natural. One of my colleagues pointed out, you might want to unmute yourself. So having fun, right? So it's more than just policies and procedures. Would that be fair to say? More than just documents now?
Oh, yes. And when you put the portal and the development into the hands of people that are a little bit more tailored to the creative side and fun side, that's kind of what you're going to get out of it. We definitely wanted it to serve a purpose for people to go out there and get the resources and the tools that they need. But what's really important for our brand and for the culture and what we want people to get out of becoming an employee at Legends Bank is that, you know, it's kind of family oriented, and we want to extend that feeling out to the people that may not be here in Clarksville with us, or the people we don't get to see every day, but for them to be able to get the information and be able to see what is kind of going on with the bank and keep them involved and engaged.
That's huge, and especially to make sure everybody's on the same page, because I know you mentioned you've got other initiatives and things that are constantly evolving when we're talking in preparation. So That's really neat. Now, you guys have some unique personalities, obviously, with some seasoned leadership and things of that nature. So what's it like to pull together, who we are and share that from the top down in a page such as this even?
Well, I will say that this is kind of the About Us page, and this is sort of what we use in new employee orientation, which having the vault has been really helpful in that, where we can share our message, share who we are and what our expectations are of our employees through this one page. What's kind of interesting with our bank is that our senior leadership is got a little bit of a generation gap. So our CEO is in his 70s. He's been in the banking industry for over 50 years, and he is not on Facebook and not up with all of the things that a lot of our employees are, but he does understand and does support the growth and the need for things like that, which is great. And he has been very surprising that he does use the vault quite a bit to check in on things and even lets us know when things are out of date. But he does enjoy it. And so our senior level definitely supports it. They're not as engaged as we probably would like them to be, but
Sure.
Our purpose really was to develop something that would get our everyday employees that are maybe in non-management roles to really feel like they're a part of the bank and really be able to have a good understanding of the foundation of the bank and stay engaged and interact with the portal in that way. But that's kind of our next phase, is to try to get aspects of our portal that help to meet some of the management and senior management needs.
It's amazing. And one thing, when you talked about onboarding staff, and I understand you have wellness pages and all those type of things as well, but talk to me about, I'm a new staff member, I'm looking for something. What's the response like if it's on the employee portal?
Actually, the response has been really great for the new employees, because they come in and they get a lot of information their first day or two that they're here. So they get a really brief walkthrough of the vault between our human resources and then myself, just to sort of acclimate them on where they can find things. But it's really helped them once they get settled to where they are to be able to go in there on their own time and get to see, connect names with faces and things like that through our employee directory. So it really helps them to kind of get a feel for the bank and who works here.
That's huge. And you made a comment to me about getting left behind. What does that mean when it comes to answering questions?
Oh, yes. Well, because the vault and a portal is a very new concept to a lot of people, and those of you that, obviously our panel and everybody here is in the banking industry. Everybody's got different personalities, so you're trying to make a solution to fit a lot of different people. But the big thing is that all of our events, all of the information that we need employees to know about streams through the vault. It's not through email. It's somewhere on the portal. So our philosophy is, if you don't know, it's your own fault, because the information's out there and it stays out there, and we try to, if they're not getting on the vault and they're not checking out certain pieces of it and certain pages, then they're not getting the information, on their own, So they're not having to rely on an email that's there and goes down to the bottom as the days go on. It's constantly out there and it's refreshed and updated on a regular basis.
That's huge. It becomes that pulse. It's so hard for me to make those lines up, as I hear things moving from the quote-unquote graveyard where documents go to die on the shared drive and things of that nature to, we're living it. I wouldn't know what else to do without it. It's pretty amazing when you think about where a lot of our banks are today. So that's good. Any other last thoughts on your guys' portals or best practices or something there on your heart you wanted to share there?
No, I would just say for anybody that's on this particular webinar today is that, that you guys and your staff were amazing to work with and so helpful on something that seemed like this big elephant that we didn't really know what to do with, and we're so excited to get started. But you guys were so instrumental on, making us feel comfortable and helping us along the way. So I just did want to be able to say that to you guys.
Oh, that's awesome. You're too kind. And Carissa is instant messaging me right now. Big high fives. She's so happy that you guys launched and are loving where you guys are. So that's very good. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the insight from both of our clients. And the last point here, we're transitioned to what's next, right? So you've seen some examples of what you can do with the portal now, or an intranet and things of that nature. The last promise we had was just how do we build something that's really functional. So what I want to show you is a sneak peek into what we call Ensemble. Not a full demo or anything of that nature, but just to show you how you can take what both these wonderful banks have done and even build upon that. And I think they both can attest to next year's Powwow is going to be amazing, our client conference, because they're going to use these best tools, best practices, and really change the way we do things in the future. So here's an example of what your portal could look like. And just being able to have rotators and links and organizational information, as they both mentioned, without having to touch a line of code. We can go through and have something that's very functional to be able to share content, engaging, my alerts and information all within your page, and make it look like a website with the simple use that we allow you to have grids now. So you can go through and you can drag content around and lock it to a page in an area and redirect it to other content. So without having to get into the nitty-gritty programming, we can create engaging pages and links and resources. You can even layer images now, which is pretty, those of you that have talked to Passageways over the past, or some of the clients that are on here as well, your links pages can now be really functional to where you can just move them around, pick and choose, and then delegate out to, say, a facilities page, managed 100% by that team and department. So very, very powerful to be able to organize content, make sure that your bank is growing and being able to focus on, customer service and loan growth and share information, make product information such as a boat loan, full text searchable in just seconds. That is the true power that you gain from an intranet, more than just policies and procedures. Let's put it in the end user's hands in milliseconds so they can find sales tips and FAQs without having to go diving into the shared drive. Really powerful. So feel free, after the webinar, I'm sure you'll get a call or an email from my colleague Lee, just getting some feedback, because this is where we evolve our webinar series through, has been based on the feedback from you all. So make sure that you let us know if there's something you really got out of here that's valuable, if you'd like us just to explain what's possible through an employee intranet, or would like to talk with one of our awesome panelists today. We'll be happy to connect the dots from this side. So I want to make sure that we pause here at the end and answer any questions you may have in the queue as well. So if you could, we've got a chat box here. Feel free to shoot those in now and answer. I'll try my best to answer questions as we're going. But I'm going to switch back to my slides and just show you a couple things that make, again, Passageway special in the process. So you've heard about implementation and resources and what you can do. But the key is you don't have to recreate the wheel. We're going to connect you with best practices. We even have our newest, excuse me, our newest service in content population that allows your team to make use of Passageways. So we'll go through and build the landing pages and department pages and work groups and some of those things now. So we're really happy to offer some of those services to new customers, as well as some of our older customers who are migrating to 5.0. Definitely a great way to get the latest update, as it's included in your support and no additional expense, and to make sure that our family here is being brought up into the future here. So let me check the queue, make sure we don't have any questions. I don't see anything, and you can feel free if you want to raise your hand or anything of that nature. I can try and answer questions as well. But what I want to do is just kind of closing thoughts for either both our clients here. And Brittany, if you could, any last thoughts, whether it's Passageways, Powwow, or the portal, would you recommend this to a friend, or closing remarks here from your side here?
I definitely would recommend it. Our bank is, a decent size, but we're definitely not very big, and I'm a department of one, and definitely needed other people out of the bank to help make this our vault what it is today. I would just say that it's definitely a helpful tool if used correctly, but it can be done as simple or as intricate as you would like it to be, and that may be the good and bad thing about the portal, is that it can pretty much do whatever you would like it to do.
That's awesome. It really is, and you can see from your portals, both your portals were amazing today. How different the culture is. I think that's the key, because I know you guys have talked about think about relaunches and things in the future and rebrands. A lot of our clients think about every 2 to 3 years. You need that change in your life to be able to help staff through. So it's evolving all the time. And how about from your side, Brittany? Either of you have some last thoughts here, or you'd like to share with everyone before we sign off?
Oh, sorry, I may have taken Mary Beth's place, but
that's all right.
I didn't want to interrupt her if she has some last things that she wants to say.
Go ahead.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, hi. Really, I mean, she kind of hit it on the nail, in the fact that, I mean, it's for us, it's, even though we've been with you guys for a while, it's ever evolving. It's really you take it day by day and just see and come up with new ideas and ways to improve it. But I mean, I definitely have enjoyed Passageways, and I think Powell is a great way to come and collaborate with others that are using Passageways, and get new ideas and way to improve your portal. But it's really what you make it. So
yeah, it's huge. There's so many different directions you can go with it. So if you'd like, those of you that aren't in the Passageways family, feel free to give us a buzz after the call here. Again, hopefully we'll get to you a question or an email or something, just for your feedback, and would love the opportunity to welcome you to the Passageways family. So I want to thank both of your teams. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for helping us out. I've got so many notes. I have to go back to my portals and make changes now. Some great sound bites and best practices. So thank you, everyone, for your time today, and we look forward to talking to you in the future. And with that, we'll conclude our webinar. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.